Hi, how y'all doing? It is February the 4th, 2026, possibly, right? Here in Ontario, Canada, the skies were cloud covered in the rise, but now they're blue. They put an X in the sky earlier, right? I'm not sure, I guess they're gonna give us snow in a day or two. But yeah, Schuman today is at 16. It was not posted yesterday. That's why I didn't do it. One of the reasons why I didn't do a video. I went to sleep good. I was icky yesterday. My shoulders and neck were really tense, right? But it's eased up. It's not as bad. I slept well. I dreamt well. Woke up a little bit after 7. And yeah, then I decided to go clean off my truck. I waited till about 10:30. Went out, cleaned off my truck, and went and did some errands. Went to the weed store, right? Talked to the unvaccinated owner. Went to the bank, got some cash, and went to the grocery store and picked up a couple of things and came home. So I just been sitting here watching YouTube and listening, talking to my son, right? About his relationship. He's the one that started, right? I don't make choices for him. We just bounce stuff off each other. You know what I mean? So yeah, I seen a thing yesterday. Did you know that Jeffrey Epstein is on the IMBD website? He's an actor, right? Curious. Same as I also realized watching a video of somebody else doing something that all the old pictures looking at cities and towns and stuff, where it's at a distance and you can see the whole layout, it's all AI drawing ancient pictures, right? Not so sure what I should make of that. But if you're going to swap our fairy tale for something for this reality, right, I suppose you'd need to change shit up, make it look a certain way. That's why in all those pictures it's the same colors, right, that's used. And there's always a broken tree in the view, and the skies are yellowed out, vanillaed out, right? And it's all Photoshop and whatever. So we really don't know what's what, do we now? Because they've whitewashed all the historical figures, right? Like George Washington was a melanated man. He was not a Caucasian or pale face, right? All of them. The Egyptians weren't pale face. Cleopatra wasn't pale face. All your presidents, kings and queens were not pale faces. They're all dark skinned, right? But they got whitewashed. So, yeah, Europe eccentric vision, because Europe was supposed to be the main country, right? When actuality it's America. So confusing. I never know what to make of this now. I don't. Other than it's the fairy tale, they're just covering it up. We're at a different, our moon phase changed today, the waxing gibbous. Trust and have faith, right? So it's one of those things again, I was glad my truck worked very well today. I hadn't been started for a while. So, but he's a stand-up truck, let me tell you. Right, I'm very grateful for it. Part of the download that I got in 2019 was that our wealth will be returned to us, and how that's supposed to happen when we know we get our trust back is the government employee of some type will contact you, send you a letter or a text or something maybe, and make an appointment for you to come into the Small Business Bureau, some kind of organization like that that deals with finances, right? So be prepared if you get something like that. Just don't poo-poo it away. It's going to happen all over the realm, not just in America, right? We'll get it all back. So, and a tarot card reader confirmed it a few years back. And Rod Hayes was talking about it on the latest video he did. So that was another confirmation, right? We just have to hold out, be strong, get through this, right? Don't let all the new truthers mess you up. Don't fall for the stage screen. That's the politics, right? Everything's already been taken care of. All this is just a movie you're watching when it comes to all that crap, you know? So just be you. Do the best you can do. Know that the Great Spirit is within you. So don't look outside yourself for that. Look inside, you know? I give gratitude to the Great Spirit inside. I do. Wake up our genie, you know? Even though it's cold out today, the sun is so hot. It really is. It'll be interesting to see what the spring and summer brings. I hope I can stay cool. I hope we all can stay cool. So, yeah, we'll have to climate ourselves to it. Be out in it a little bit each day until you get used to it. So, yeah, what was it 17 or 24 CMEs come off the sun the other day? That was a big download, wasn't it? The Mother Earth, they talk, eh? The Schuman resonance and the CMEs. It's so confusing to try to figure out what this fairy tale's like, because our genetic memory probably remembers it, but this one is so much hypnosis, right? You know, obey, right? That it clouds our vision. So I was telling that to the lady at the store. I said, you can tell because I said, it's fairy tale going wrong because, like, let's just say that there's two fairies here talking. One's a shopkeep, the other one's a customer. And you get along from the day you met. You liked each other, right? But, or no but. And it's because you know them. You remember them. But because we're under the hypnosis, you don't, right? See them as the reality of them. And she says, I get it, right? And I was like, yeah. I said, some people might think I'm crazy. I said, but don't you know that if you don't question your own sanity, that means you are insane? I said, so, like, I'm always questioning it. Like, am I crazy? Do you think maybe I'm crazy? And the fact that I question it means that I'm not. It's the people that, when you say to them, you're crazy, or are you crazy? They'll be like, I'm not crazy, you're crazy. That's the one that's the insane one, right? I said, I told her that's a good test to put people through, right? If you want to see who is who. Let's call them crazy out of a joke and see how they respond. She laughed, thought it was the funniest thing. She goes, you're right though, right? I was like, yeah, I know. So at least I had a good chat with her, right? The people out in the realm, they looked a little bit, I don't know what you say. Serious, right? Serious and just not high vibrational, let's put it that way, right? But that's okay, because when I'm out amongst them, I know who I am. I'm not like them. And I know I belong here. And who knows how many of them don't. Right? Right. Okay. That's enough. I don't have a lot to talk about. Just those couple of things, you know. The last couple of days were pretty rough on me, but today I'm feeling better. Not so much pressure in the head or in the shoulders and neck. All right. Still a little bit like my body's always a bit icky because I believe in the fibro. But other than that, I'm having a high vibe day today. I was glad I got out. You know, I am. There was no wind, just the sun pounding down on all the snow and ice. So much, so much so that the cement's starting to show underneath all the snow that they've been plowing for the last week or two, right? It's just been snow before, but now the cement's starting to come up. So it is melting, right? It is. We're coming out of that deep freeze at some point for a while. I'm not sure. It's still really cold at night though, like minus 21, stuff like that. Celsius, right? So yeah. Let's see, no canines today. No birds. Just a bunch of really serious looking people. Except for the lady at the store that I spoke to. Right? She's all smiles. But I have that effect on people that are real. Every day. I shine my light more. Every day I remember who I am. And every day I have more gratitude. I love you all to consciousness. Enjoy this night or day. Okay? Okay. Bye. Bye.